Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Scoot over a little bit here. Let me try not to touch the mic because the cord on the back of my snowball is a little bit jiggly. That has come from multiple trips where I've shoved it in my suitcase. So now it's very fragile. Anyhow, welcome back to my channel, guys. You know who I am. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Dr. Yusuf Dunbar. And this is Big Discussions 76 Sports. First of all, please like this stream/video. If you're watching it on the playback, please share it. And please subscribe to my channel. Well, I just wanted to get in here and chase the algorithm a little bit and give some reaction to last night's Super Bowl. Oh, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. My lady, my plus one. It's justice. Okay. Yeah. So my lady, my plus one, she I think she was amused, as was I, that the Super Bowl just happened to fall on not Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day weekend. So if you had a significant other who was not into football and you had to do something last night and you couldn't watch the game, I'm sure that was hard. But if you had a plus one who was understanding of you liking football, then maybe she let you, or maybe you had her blessing to watch the game. So I had my plus one's blessing to watch the game. There's much more Michigan football content to get to, but I just wanted to come in here and chase the algorithm a little bit and see if I can get some views, and also just give my reaction to last night's game. I named this channel Big Discussions 76 Sports, not just Big Discussions 76 Michigan football. Anyway, for those of you who are watching, please hit that like button. That helps with the engagement. The super chat is live. If anyone wants to super chat anything to me, I didn't think it was that exciting a game. Of course, the gold standard for me will always be Super Bowl 25 between my Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. Give me a second here. Yep, Tampa, 1991, down at the old Sombrero. Marv Levy, Bill Belichick, Jim Kelly, Jeff Hostetler, Lawrence Taylor, Bruce Smith. 2019 final score, and the Buffalo Bills having a chance to win it on Scott Norwood's foot, and of course the ball sailing wide right. So that's always going to be my gold standard of a Super Bowl, something with drama, something with lots of emotion. And I imagine that if you were a Rams fan or a Bengals fan, maybe there was lots of emotion for you going into the closing seconds of that game. But there was just nothing like Super Bowl 25, and maybe before that, Super Bowl 23 between the Cincinnati Bengals and the San Francisco 49ers, where the 49ers won on that John Taylor catch when the Bengals double covered Jerry Rice. Nothing like those Super Bowls, in my opinion. Anyway, the super chat is live. I don't have a large crowd here. It's a Monday. We're approaching lunchtime. This is my Cash App and PayPal. If anyone wants to throw something in the tip jar, that is here. So I have the score and the stats pulled up. I'm just going to go over those really briefly. and conclude the stream. I don't have a lot to say, but since this is a sports channel, I need to weigh in on the Super Bowl. Let's see. So let me pull up the score and the statistics. I'm just going to walk through this. As you can see, I've named myself Odell Beckham Jr. for this stream in honor of Odell. He didn't fight with the, or should I say, I don't think he had an affair with the field goal net last night like he did when he was a Giant, but he now has a Super Bowl ring, as does Matthew Stafford. Yeah, so the LA Rams won last night's game, 23-20. I think that final score is accurate in terms of how the game played out. I didn't think either team was decisively better than the other. I did pick the Rams going in because I knew that the Bengals had that they didn't have the most stout offensive lines, even though they arguably had the better quarterback in the matchup. I thought that their offensive line play or lack of would eventually um, catch up with them, which arguably it did, despite them having arguably the better quarterback. So the final score was 23-20. This is the quarter by quarter breakdown. In that first quarter, the Rams scored one touchdown. The Bengals scored 3 points, so they scored a field goal. In that second quarter, the Rams did score a touchdown, but there was a special teams snafu with the holder, so they only got 6 points out of that trip. The the Bengals scored a touchdown in the second quarter. In the third quarter, the Rams got a field goal. In the third quarter, the Bengals got a touchdown and a field goal. And at that point, I thought that the Bengals might pull it out. I thought that all they had to do was, because the Rams didn't have much of a running game, and then Odell Beckham Jr. got hurt. And I think there was one other injury that the Rams sustained, and Matthew Stafford really didn't have anyone else to throw to besides Cooper Kupp. And in the second half, that's in large part who Matthew Stafford went to. He went to Cooper Kupp. I'm going to look at the statistics shortly in terms of each of the players, but I thought that it was right there for Cincinnati to take. They probably, and it was probably their offensive line, not being able to move the chains on the ground, not being able to put clock-killing long drives together in that final quarter, and that's what paved the way for that last drive by the LA Rams. So let's take a look at the statistics here. Matthew Stafford went 26 for 40 for 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Yeah, Cooper Kupp, they ran a gadget play in that last quarter where I think they did some sort of reverse, and Cooper Kupp had the ball in the backfield, and Matthew Stafford was the receiver. Of course, Cooper Kupp threw it too high. In terms of rushing, yeah, Cam Akers was their leading rusher with 13 carries for 21 yards. In terms of receiving, yeah, here you go. Cooper Kupp caught the ball 8 times for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. Odell Beckham Jr. did get he caught the ball twice for 52 yards and 1 touchdown before he got hurt. It looked like his knee, and he didn't catch the ball on that play. And then it went down from there. Bryce Hopkins, Darrell Henderson, Van Jefferson, Cam Akers, Ben Skowronek. I think that's how you pronounce that. Defense, the Bengals did a good job getting the ball out early. And the commentators were, they made that observation. So Aaron Donald in that pass rush didn't really have a chance to get there early on. But as we know, late in the game, when the Bengals had to drop back and let the routes develop downfield, that gave some more time to Aaron Donald. And I think Raheem Morris probably diagrammed up a few stunts to confuse the pass protection, and they were able to get back there and get Joe Burrow. So let's see. And they got him a few times. Ernest Jones had a sack. Sean Robinson had a sack. Leonard Floyd had a sack. Aaron Darnold had 2. And Von Miller had 2. So they were able to get back there. I think mostly in that second half, because in the first half, Joe Burrow was getting the ball out very quickly. If they put an offensive line in front of Joe Burrow, and many have speculated this, they may be the new team to beat. Or you may be looking at 3 teams. Well, depending upon what my Buffalo Bills do, you may see a 3-team race in the AFC. And if KC is able to keep what they have going, you'll at least probably see a 2-team race. And then if Tennessee upgrades at the quarterback position, you may see a 4-team race there. But either way, many are expecting Cincinnati to be a force to be reckoned with for years to come. So let me take a look over at the Cincinnati stats. Again, guys, short stream. I see a few people coming in and passing through, please hit the like button if you're just watching for a few seconds. Okay. Yeah, Joe Burrow went 22 for 33, so that's about 66%. He threw for 263 yards and 1 touchdown. Joe Mixon went 1 for 1 for 6 yards and 1 touchdown. Looks like the Bengals got a halfback toss in there somewhere. In terms of rushing, Joe Mixon led the Bengals with 15 carries for 72 yards. And then it went down from there. And then, let's see, in terms of receiving, T. Higgins led the Bengals with 4 receptions for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase caught the ball 5 times for 89 yards. Tyler Boyd caught the ball 5 times for 48 yards. And then Mike Thomas had 1 reception. And CJ Uzama caught the ball 2 times for 11 yards. I wanted to say TJ Houshmandzadeh, but he's retired. He's retired. I think Chris Berman and Tom Jackson's joke there was, I say Houshmandzadeh, you say Houshmandzadeh. Anyway, so Joe Burrow had a decent game. He got sacked a couple times. He didn't turn the ball over. And I suspected if they had more, if they had a more solid offensive line, that would have given him more time, and his passing stats would have been more robust, and they probably would have had enough to put the Rams away, because the Rams were basically just hanging on. And then at the end, Matthew Stafford started going to Cooper Kupp, and they were able to get that last touchdown in the end. So, okay. While the Rams were able to get to Joe Burrow quite a bit, the Bengals, looks like they only got 2 sacks. One was from Trey Hendrickson, and the other one was from DJ Reed. So they may have pressured Stafford, but they didn't sack him that much. And the 1 interception for Cincinnati, actually Cincinnati intercepted the ball twice. One from Chidobe Awuzie and Jesse Bates the third. I think, yeah, one of those was the guy ran in. The guy was not active for the game, and he had on sandals and sweatpants, and he ran into the end zone. And the Bengals got an unsportsmanlike conduct call for that. So that was one of those interceptions in the end zone. It was a very good play on the ball. Very good play. Let's see what else is here. Yeah, they're kicking. Their kicker didn't let them down. He went 2 for 2 for field goals. And for the Rams, yeah, their kicker went 1 for 1. Let me see if I can find the time of possession here. Time of possession, very even. First downs, even. See, the Rams won the third down efficiency. They won the fourth down efficiency. The Rams ran slightly more plays. The Bengals allowed 7 sacks. The Rams only allowed 2. Let's see, there weren't many penalties in this game, and the commentators called that out. The Rams had 2 for 10 yards, and the Bengals had 4 for 31 yards. There were no fumbles, and the Rams turned it over twice in terms of interceptions. But I'm going to end this. Again, this is a short stream. I intended it to be short. I want to congratulate the Rams, Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Darnold, Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. You know, he had his troubles in New York with the Giants, and then I think he went over to Cleveland, and I think that he was out of the league for a short period of time before the Rams picked him up, and you know, before they wanted to see if he had anything left. So congratulations to him for getting that Super Bowl ring. I mean, he got hurt in the first half. He caught a touchdown, but he was able to get that ring. And then congratulations to Matthew Stafford. I think I'm gonna shoot a video on this. You know, with everything I have to do, I didn't follow the NFL closely from week to week. So when the playoffs started and I saw that the Rams had advanced, I looked up and I said, "Oh, Matthew Stafford's quarterbacking the Rams, and they're having some success." Well, you know, I went to the University of Michigan, so I spent time in Detroit, and I know that Matthew Stafford was drafted by the Lions, and he was his main target for a number of years was Calvin Johnson, Megatron. And so you wonder, and they didn't get very far in Detroit with either of those two, um, Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford. And you wonder, you know, when you see futility like that year after year after year, and the Detroit Lions are known for that, you start to think, okay, well, Matthew Stafford's never going to get to the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford's never going to win anything. So it turns out, and we see this in sports over and over and over again, sometimes it's just your situation. It's just where you are. He got drafted by pretty much an inept franchise in terms of ownership and management. And so he was only able to go as far as that team uh, they put together, as far as that team could go, and the coaches they hired there in Detroit. Matthew Stafford was only able to go as far as that unit and the coaching staff and the front office would go. So sometimes all you need is a change of scenery, and then you can become the player that you are, and you can get to the Super Bowl and win it. So I think this is very educational. I think we see this all the time in sports. Players don't play well on one roster in one city on one team, and then they get a fresh start with a new front office, a new coaching staff, and new teammates, and they become a totally different player. So I'll probably shoot a pre-record about that because this applies to my book, The Engineers, as well. I did experience that in my small window of competing. Environment matters, teammates matter, coaches matter. All of that matters in terms of the success that you have as a player. So, congratulations to Matthew Stafford. And I do think we will hear from the Bengals for a while, as long as Joe Burrow is able to stay healthy, as long as they're able to keep him upright, and especially if they build that offensive line so that he has more time and so that they can run the ball more effectively. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see. Well, I'll just say many Bills fans were a little bit hurt with the Bengals going to the Super Bowl because we were one drive away from hosting the AFC Championship game. All we had to do was hold Kansas City for those 13 seconds, keep them out of field goal range, and your AFC Championship game would have been in Orchard Park. But Kansas City goes down the field, they go to they kick the ball, tie the score, go to overtime, and you know what happened. And then who'd have thought that Cincinnati would defeat them? So a lot of Bills fans were a little bit hurt watching Cincinnati advance to the Super Bowl. I know that Abdul Gaines was. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in the AFC going forward, because it could, our team, the Bills, if they stay where they are and even improve, we're going to be right there. The Chiefs, you have to think that they're going to be back as long as their core stays healthy. And the Chiefs, if they shore up their defense, they'll be a tougher team. So, and then now you have Cincinnati. And then you have to think if Tennessee makes an upgrade at quarterback, because everything else is pretty much there in Tennessee. Their defense, you have those big wide receivers, you have Derrick Henry. All they need is strong play from the quarterback, and Tennessee is right there. Anyway, so the AFC right now looks like it's going to be up for grabs next season. Yaakov says, "What's the first Super Bowl that you remember?" Mine is Eagles versus Oakland. The one I watched from front to back, trying to say from start to ending, was Super Bowl 25, which was the 25th anniversary, the silver anniversary of the Super Bowl. That was during the Persian Gulf War, the first Persian Gulf War, early 1990s. It was down at the Old Sombrero in Tampa. It was a matchup between my Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants, and we all know how that one ended. And it ended with that wide right field goal by Scott Norwood. But it was as they said in the documentary, a classic struggle of wills in which each team was trying to impose its will on the other. So you had the no huddle, K Gun, Jim Kelly offense. Some would say our defense was suspect. The Bruce Smith, Daryl Talley, Leon Seals, Cornelius Bennett, Mark Kelso defense going up against the methodical run first to set up the pass, run first to set up the pass, smash mouth Bill Parcells offense, and then the Bill Belichick defense, which figured out during that game how to slow the Buffalo Bills offense down. So very much it was both teams trying to impose their will on the other. The Giants did it a little bit more, controlled the clock. They controlled the clock for most of the second half, wore our defense down, and then our offense, figured out how to move the ball probably in the fourth quarter, which was too late, and we just ran out of time, and the field goal went wide right. It was a classic game. So that one will always be my favorite, even though we didn't win. The man is here says, guys, please hit the like button if you haven't. I'm going to wrap this up shortly. Anwar, would you have traded 4 straight Super Bowls for 1 Super Bowl win and not have made it the other 3 years? Yeah, I think I would. I think I would for those guys, for that core to be able to win one. Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Thurman, Bruce, Cornelius. That that Super Bowl 25 against the New York Giants, that was their best chance to win in terms of score and in terms of the matchups. That Giant team, it was older, aside from a few positions, it was older. It was battle tested. It was smart. It was crafty. It was a veteran team. We arguably had more firepower, but they figured out how to slow our offense down, and they figured out how to beat our defense up, and that was our best chance to win. But yeah, I would trade one for as opposed to going 4 straight years. So I mean, we have that distinction, but we don't have any Vince Lombardi trophies. So one win would have been huge for our franchise. I'm trying to think with the other um, which other team just has one. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much most of the Super Bowl winners have multiple Vince Lombardi trophies. The Bears. Well, the Bears probably have one from back in the 50s and the 60s. I wasn't born then, so I don't recall. The Patriots, they have several. The 49ers have several. The Cowboys have several. The Steelers have several. The Ravens have several Super Bowl trophies. The Buccaneers have multiple Super Bowl trophies. The Broncos have 2. Seattle only has 1. Seattle only has 1. And then there's the rest of the league that doesn't have any. We're a part of that group. The Packers have multiple trophies. Yeah. He says, Thurman Thomas was so good at Oklahoma State that he kept Barry Sanders on the bench for 2 seasons. That's right. That's right. Uh, that's amazing to think that you'd have both Barry Sanders and Thurman Thomas on the same roster. But I think that was probably an artifact of Thurman being the veteran. Guys, please hit the like button. That was probably an artifact of Thurman being the veteran, because I think that at the pro level, Barry was probably the better running back. I mean, just because of what he could do. Barry Sanders did all of what he did in Detroit, oftentimes with little to no help. He had quarterbacks. He had a revolving door of quarterbacks. Maybe the best receiver that Barry had um, throughout his tenure was Herman Moore. He got hurt at some point, and the offense that the Lions ran wasn't designed for running. It was a run and shoot most of those years. He didn't have a Moose Johnston like Emmett Smith had. He didn't have Carwell Gardner or Jamie Mueller like Thurman Thomas had. He didn't have that. We had a stout offensive line in Buffalo. We had a nice offensive line for Thurman Thomas to run behind. Barry Sanders didn't have that, and he still did what he did, which is amazing. Okay. Michael Burden says the rivalries between Pittsburgh versus Dallas in the 70s. Yep. Both those teams have multiple um, Lombardi trophies. And since I'm based in the DMV right now, the Washington Commandos, the Washington Redskins have multiple Vince Lombardi trophies as well. So Yeah, there are quite a few. The teams that have won them, most of those teams have multiple trophies, and then there's the rest of the league who don't have any. So, but it's not easy to win. It's not easy. You got to put together the right roster. You got to and as I was thinking, as we were me and my plus one were driving back from our Valentine's weekend, I was telling her we were having a discussion about how some guys are too into sports. I don't think I'm too into sports. I think that I'm passionate about Michigan football. I want to see the Buffalo Bills win, but I'm not a. I I think I did lose some sleep over after the 2016 Michigan Ohio State game and maybe the 2018 Michigan Ohio State game. Those games they hurt. Like back in the day when Michael Jordan would lose to the Detroit Pistons, that would hurt. But today, I'm a moderate fan in my opinion, and I was telling her that the golden age, I think, of the NFL was probably back in the 80s and the 90s when you had to draft your teams and put them together that way. Now it's just free agency. You could just sign this guy and sign this guy and sign this guy. I think it's completely different. It's a completely different game. The rules have been legislated now for more offense, less contact, more protection for the quarterbacks, those kinds of things. Yaakov says, "Yep, Don Beebe. Yep, he got his ring with that Brett Favre Green Bay team. So one of the Buffalo Bills got a ring, and Don Beebe was it. And I think they were all pretty happy for him. So I thought it was cool. He went to another Great Lakes city, another cold city, and he got his ring. So the man here said hoisting the Lombardi trophy is a very difficult thing to do, and not because of the weight. It's just very hard to earn. Yeah, football, you need all 11 guys on both sides of the ball to do what they're supposed to do. You need a smart coaching staff. You need a coaching staff who knows how to manage the clock and their timeouts. And the one thing you can never plan for is injuries, unless, of course, you're able to stack your team with depth the way Jimmy Johnson did with his Dallas Cowboy teams. But that was a different era. That was before free agency, before the free agency we have now. But yeah, it's hard. But I think injury certainly a major factor there in hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, especially today. Especially today. So, all right, guys. Well, that's pretty much what I wanted to say about the game. I thought it was, congratulations to the Rams. It was kind of I didn't have a dog in the fight. My team we got our hearts torn out in the AFC divisional round by the Kansas City Chiefs. And once again, the Bills were on the sidelines watching. So the question is, what are the Bills going to do next season? Got to get a running game. Got to fortify the offensive line. Got to make some upgrades on defense. Those are the three things the Bills will do, or else, well, we'll be watching again next season. But congratulations to the Rams. I picked the Rams, but the game wasn't all that exciting for me. The halftime show was kind of cool. Dr. Dre was there, Snoop, Mary J, uh, 50 Cent, just to name a few. The commercials were, they were okay. I liked the Schwarzenegger commercial, but pretty much everything has been done. Oh, it looks like they've really started marketing the new Jurassic Park movie, so that's coming. I think this is going to be the last one. But guys, that was it. So I'm going to stop the stream. I have a lot to do before this day is over. So I just want to come in and give some reaction to that. Look for, as you might expect, some more Michigan football content. I plan to do something. The NCAA tournament's coming up. I want to talk about. I want to do at least one live stream. One live stream about why the Los Angeles Lakers have been a dumpster fire all season. So I'm going to do that, and of course, we'll be covering what's happening in the off season for the Michigan football program. It looks like Jim has reloaded his staff. And then I know we're all going to be looking to see what's going to happen with the quarterback position. Is it going to be Cade or is it going to be JJ? So, anyhow, guys, yeah, enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. As always, remember, well, please like, share, and subscribe if you're new. And as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Take care. And I will talk to you the next time. Bye-bye.